Thanks to those joining me live and to those that'll be joining me on archive. D-Style here. DStyleBoxing here. It's actually a boxing video. All right. For those listening on archive, leave a comment and tell me what you think. Take a moment and thumbs up the video. You can also hit the notification button. That way you are notified every time DStyleBoxing comes on live. All right. Again, if you're listening on archive, thumbs up the video. Just take a moment. Thumbs it up. All right. Check this out. All right. Check this out. I already know there's going to be people like crying because of the title of this video, right? I don't care. All right. So that's because if they don't take a moment to actually listen to what I have to say, then it just exposes them. That's all it does. All right. Now I've been listening. We don't call them airwaves anymore. What do you call it? I've been listening to the streams. I've been listening to the cries. I've been listening to the voices that have been speaking on this YouTube platform, on the social media platforms. I've been listening to these voices. Not the ones in my head, the ones on YouTube. I've been listening to them. And look, obviously there's a lot of opinions out there. There's a lot of opinions, you know. But the interesting ones are the people that all of a sudden, right, out of nowhere have done a 180 and all of a sudden Undisputed matters, right? Now, what's funny about these people is that they think they're pointing out a 180 on the people that have been talking about the importance of Undisputed. When the people that have pointed out the importance of Undisputed have not flip-flopped at all. It hasn't happened. The ones that are like, look, okay, this is what's happening. Let me tell you, okay, I want to go through this. Because make no mistake about it, there's one pound for pound king right now. One. Okay, and his name is Terrence Crawford. He's the pound for pound king right now, right? Why is he the pound for pound king in D-Style's opinion? Because he's the best fighter in the world, and he's gonna beat Errol Spence too. Okay, but that's a whole nother conversation. All right. But back to the USYK thing. All right. And it's something that I've just observed. I mean, the things I'm hearing are insane. So let me put it this way, right? First, let me say this. USYK is the undisputed cruiserweight champion in the world without dispute. He is the best fighter. He's proven that he is the best fighter in his division, and he's the only fighter other than Terrence Crawford that has done that, right? Since who knows God's when, okay? So you see, it wasn't that hard. I haven't flip-flopped on anything, all right? But let me point this out. Now, we don't know what USYK is going to do. We don't know if he's going to move up to heavyweight. We don't know if he's going to stay, defend it a couple times. We don't know yet, right? And of course, people are, you know, if somebody says, yeah, I want to see him move up and fight some of these heavyweights, that it's you actually have people saying, oh, they just want him to lose. They want him to move up because it's an itty bitty little cruiserweight and they want him to lose, right? They always have to look for the negative into everything. So all I'm going to say is USYK could do what he wants. He's earned the right to do whatever the fuck he wants. Okay? He's earned that right. Right? USYK has earned the right to be cruiserweight champion. He's the man of his division. That's how you prove you're the man in your division, by winning all the straps. Right? You see how simple that is? You see how consistent that is? That's what I said about Crawford. Okay, that's what I'm going to say about USYK. They're undisputed in their division. I want to see every fighter in every division unify all the belts. I want to see, I promote undisputed. That has not changed. That has not flip-flopped, but I want to get to this topic. Not that I provided context on what I'm saying, right? And yes, USYK rhymes with you suck. Come on, you know it does. All right. In fact, USYK should come out to this. USYK, USYK. So you see what I mean? Like don't tell me in the sound like they were chanting for USYK now. Okay, but here's what I want to say. I want to get to the point. I want to get to the juicy part of my story here. All right, check it out. Right, you guys know that was a good one. Come on, but here's what I want to say. Right. So something I honestly want to say here. There's all these people coming out, and this is what they're saying. That's it. USYK #1 pound for pound. He's #1 pound for pound. He's #1 pound for pound. Yeah, well, where's all the people that were talking about undisputed, huh? Don't be hypocrites. Don't be hypocrites. You know, where are you now? Are you going to see #1 now? Are you going to see #1 now? Are you going to see #1 now? Look. What? Wait, what? Now, is undisputed a good argument to present to people for, putting somebody high in the pound for pound list? Absolutely. But I haven't seen anyone say by definition, the moment you become undisputed champion, right? That you just take the crown. You become the #1 pound for pound. What? First of all, pound for pound is subjective. Everyone has their own take on what pound for pound is. I've told everybody what pound for pound means to me. Pound for pound is very simple. Okay, I think the term pound for pound confuses people. Right? Remove the term pound for pound. If I just ask you a simple question, who is the best fighter in boxing today, regardless of weight class? Who's the best fighter in boxing? It's that simple. That's all it means to me. In fact, I don't do top 10 lists. I don't play with all that nonsense. Okay. But here's what they're saying. USYK just won undisputed. Where are the undisputed people at? Last I checked, they're all giving USYK props for being undisputed. All right, so I could go over the videos and the titles, like props to USYK the undisputed champion, USYK the undisputed king. Look at these titles. Like, what he done? He got no credit. Like what? No, but he has to be pronounced #1 pound for pound, or anybody who's ever advocated for undisputed is a hypocrite and had an agenda all along, right? Well, you fucking. No, but the hypocrites are you guys, right? Because you guys didn't and I know I'm using the term "you guys" very vaguely, but you know who I'm talking about, okay? The usual suspects. They didn't have Crawford #1 pound for pound, and now all of a sudden, you know what? This whole pound for pound thing, it made sense all along. But wait a minute, why aren't you guys crying #1 pound for pound? Like, no. The hypocrites are you. Right? A lot of people are confusing it's not interchangeable. It's not. Pound for pound talk is one thing, right? Undisputed talk is another, right? Now, being undisputed, of course, helps your resume. It helps gauge better how good of a fighter you are. Of course, and now that he's more accomplished now as a fighter. So all those things, they apply. But by definition, you don't get the #1 pound for pound crown just because you became undisputed. Like just by that alone. No. All right. Beating Gassiev doesn't make you the best fighter in the world. I'm sorry. It doesn't do it. That's not the way it works. In fact, one fight in itself doesn't really do that. All right. So don't get me wrong, but what I'm saying is, so are you saying, like, if you believe in your heart USYK is the best fighter in the world, then you should just tell people that he's number one pound for pound and give your reasons why, right? Don't concern yourselves, okay, as why other people are naming him number one pound for pound. Don't concern yourselves with that. And in turn, don't call others hypocrites for not giving Usyk number one pound for pound status when you yourself are being a hypocrite, right? Because you didn't have Crawford number one pound for pound when he became undisputed. All right? See how this works, right? It always comes back to bite you. The best thing you can do, okay, is just be honest and try to be as objective as possible, and don't be so obsessed with what other people are saying, right? It's real simple to me. There's one pound for pound fight in the world. That's it. Right now, his name is Terence Crawford, and until somebody proves me wrong, right? I'll be honest with you right now. Look, I'm going to say it. I don't care what anybody says. Jeff Horn is a better fighter than Gassiev. He's a better fighter, right? Oh, no, but Gassiev had 2 belts. The cruiserweight division is, in my opinion, it's a weak division. You're telling me that was the second best cruiserweight in the world? Like, that was and I'm not trying to shit on Gassiev. It's just that I'm going to give, from what I see with my eyes, Jeff Horn more credit as a professional fighter than Gassiev, okay? If you get a dude that fights like Manny Pacquiao at 195 pounds, he would destroy Gassiev. Last I checked, Horn beat Pacquiao, right? They don't got guys that fight like Pacquiao at cruiserweight, okay? They just don't, right? But so my point is, we have to be objective with this stuff, okay? Of course, I'm going to give the guy credit. He can only fight what's in front of him, right? And of course, he gets credit for being the best in his division. So the argument of undisputed has always been that's how you prove you're the best in your division. Not, I guess, or like if Usyk would have never fought Gassiev, right? If that fight never happened, if they played politics and the fight never happened or whatnot, from now to the rest of eternity, there'll be at least 10% of people that believe that Gassiev had a shot to win that fight. Okay? And there'll be like another 30% or maybe 50% that would have believed it would have been a very competitive fight that could have gone either way. Right? But now that the fight happened, we know that's not the case. And we don't have to guess. We don't have to take an educated guess. We know for a fact that Usyk is the best. All right? And that's it. It's that simple. Right? And that's it. No, but this style, but you don't understand this style. But they said that Crawford was undisputed, so they made him number one pound for pound this style, and now they don't make Usyk number one pound for pound this style, so the hypocrites this style. Yeah, but then I asked you the same fucking question, right? I asked this, so did you make Crawford number one pound for pound for just because it became undisputed? Oh no, you didn't. So what the fuck's your point? At best, you're proving that you're a hypocrite yourself. That's at best. At worst, you're taking people's words out of context. Now let's talk about USYK, right? Let's talk about USYK. All right, check this out. Let me bring this up here really quick. All right, so that's USYK. Anyway. I want to talk about Usyk really quick. Should Usyk move up in weight? I don't think he has any. I think he's conquered cruiserweight. I think he's done with it, to be honest with you. Right? If he wants to rematch the guy that he fought in the semifinal, I mean, that's a good fight to make, but other than that, if he wants to defend the crown once or twice, I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm perfectly fine with him moving up. I really don't care, right? As far as what he decides. Right. As far as that goes, I'm kind of neutral about that, to be honest with you, right? But the question of can he move up? Is it unreasonable for people to say that he can move up? No, it's not unreasonable, all right? You guys are acting like dudes have never moved up from cruiserweight to heavyweight when it's happened many times, right? Like there's been dudes that moved up from light heavyweight to heavyweight, right? In fact, before there was a cruiserweight division, that would happen, all right? Now, again, this is a longer topic, all right? Back in the day, heavyweights basically were the size of what cruiserweights weigh after the day before weigh-in now, okay? So that's just kind of, for the most part, true, right? But heavyweights is just a lot bigger, especially since the late 90s, have just been getting a lot bigger, right? But that topic aside, can USYK move up? Yes, of course he can move up. Why can't he move up? Why should USYK not have, like, what's the worst that could happen? He moves up and he loses, right? Big deal. I know a lot of USYK fans don't want to see that, all right? And it's all because, but you see, they're going to say he sucks. Once he loses, they're not going to give him any credit and all this other bullshit, right? Boxing is about winning and losing. Like, it's, what do you want? Like, you can't guarantee a win for everybody, right? But if he does, win the heavyweight strap, that would be huge for him, right? That would be, big. He'll be a 2-division champion at cruiserweight and at heavyweight, right? And also, I mean, he's just 1 division away from heavyweight. And you could say what you want, but here's the issue that cruiserweight has. It's so close to heavyweight. That's number 1, right? So, and tied to that, number 2, since it's so close to heavyweight, it's close to the, to what you could say, per Animal Kingdom law, the alpha male division, right? It's the heavyweight champion of the world. Is the best fighter in the world, right? Not in terms of skill, who do you think is more talented, like we do with pound for pound, right? Or accomplishment or whatnot. I'm talking about if there was no weight classes, the weight classes did not exist, right? The heavyweight champion would be the world champion, or maybe the cruiserweight champion. So here's USYK's opportunity, right, to prove that he is the alpha of all of boxing, right? The only way to do that is at heavyweight. That's just the reality. I know a lot of people don't like to have that conversation, but that's the reality, right? So at the end of the day, why wouldn't he want to do that? Does USYK want to walk around content being cruiserweight champion? There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But he hasn't proven he's the baddest dude on the planet. There's only one way to do that. And I'll quote Mike Tyson, right? Not verbatim, but when asked him, what did it mean to be heavyweight champion? It meant that not only was I the heavyweight champion of my division, it also meant that I could beat any guy in my division, and no other dude in any other division can fuck with me, right? It just wouldn't happen. So if you wiped out every division in boxing and everybody just came in at their best and fought, the heavyweight champion would be the champion, right? So USYK, if he wants to prove that, this is the way to do it. If he wants to prove it's the baddest dude on the planet. If he doesn't want to do that, he doesn't have to, right? But I think being heavyweight champion is something special. And for people saying he's small and all this other garbage, okay? Let me tell you, man, I know that the heavyweight division is filled with a lot of fat motherfuckers and shit like that, okay? Or dudes that have way too much muscle mass and things of that nature. But at the end of the day, USYK is easily top 4, easily in the heavyweight division right now if he joins that division, right? And does he have a shot against some of the top dudes? Perhaps, but he's got to get in the ring and do it, right? He's going to be facing a lot harder punchers and stuff like that. He is. The punches are going to hurt more. They're going to be a little slower too, though, all right? Not with everyone, but, So at the end of the day, can he do it? Of course. Holyfield moved up. Okay, he didn't have an issue being heavyweight whatsoever. This idea that USYK's too small, and it just lets you know where people's mentality is now. Okay, and lets you know where people's mentality is when it comes to boxing. It really does. You know, Marco Huck, right? Was that cruiserweight? Arguably, in my opinion, beat Povetkin in a heavyweight fight. Right? So this idea that a cruiserweight cannot move up and fight, you know, these heavyweights, it's just not true. Right? It's just not true. Wanting to prove that you're the best fighter in the world, in terms of, like I call it, that animal kingdom, law of the jungle status, right? In terms of, you know, outside of, you know, just in terms of reality, it's at heavyweight. That's why throughout history, way back in the day, middleweights would move up to fight the heavyweight champion, and then light heavyweights move up to fight the heavyweight champion, because they wanted to test themselves against who many considered the best fighter in the world. Now, you know, and then there was Sugar Ray Robinson, and then people started to kind of, when they were called the best fight in the world, was more subjective, and it came in terms of accomplishments and abilities and within your weight class and things of that nature. I get that. But to me, they're two separate things. They're two separate things, right? So with that said, let me pull up the chat really quick. I was going to play the USYK song again, but no need for it. No need to play that song again. MBT Boxing says thumbs down. It says hater. Joe says hi. What's good? Man of Water. I hear voices in my head. They talk to me, and I listen. Says Man of Water. Joe, I really hope he's not gonna shit on USYK. USYK pound for pound number 2, says Low Plays. Joe, I got him pound for pound number 2 as well. Lopez says cruiserweight has a lot of B+ fighter only, really though, but he is an A+ no matter what. LOL. Bloodboxing says a little Cena. LOL. MBT Boxing sounds like a compliment. Low Place until we find out number 2 behind Adonis is Adonis Stevenson. All right. Lopez says Breedis is no better than a Jeff Horn or Postal, in my opinion. He says USYK will fight Bellew and he will knock him out. Bellew USYK at heavyweight. I mean, it's a good fight to join heavyweight at. There are no other variables to weigh, says Bloodboxing returns. MBT Boxing says 1 Crawford, USYK 2. MBT Boxing says Lomachenko 3. All right. Rune Vasi. And then Micah Garcia's 5. All right. And then 7-8. I guess he has Adonis Stevenson. I don't do lists, bro. Mike Garcia on a pound for pound list is a joke. LOL. This is no place. J Division 79 DStyle equals YouTube's #1 contrarian. LOL. So start an argument in an empty room. I'm not sure. I'm actually pointing out things that are being said. I'm not just making these arguments up. But all right. Low Play says Crawford hold too much. USYK never holds. They've been holding in boxing since boxing started, you know. So anyway, MBT Boxing, no one held more than Stevenson did against Jack. Oh boy. Your boy says Crawford doesn't hold too much. WTF. Lopez says, hell, no one got low blowed as much as Adonis either. Shameful by Jack because Adonis was kicking his ass on the inside. He says, I really wish Jack just fought. Oh, I'm not going to talk about that fight. Lopez says, USYK cruiserweight division. It's just bit better, I think he means. Not bitter. Now Crawford's 140 and USYK holds way less and fights more styles as well, he says. Cornwall says, won all belts on the road versus unbeaten champs. Hop says, #1 Crawford, 2 Lomachenko, 4 Golovkin, 4 Spence, 5 USYK. Honorable mention, Mikey Garcia. All right, you guys like to have fun with these lists, huh? Raymond Turner, cruiserweight, most talented division in boxing right now. Think so. Man and water cruiserweight are just heavyweights that cut weight. Hop. 3 years ago, cruiserweight division was virtually invisible. Then Huck versus Glowacki. Great. Then USYK emerges, beats Glowacki. Then World Boxing Super Series, now cruiserweight, one of the sports best division, and he applauds. I disagree with that. I don't think cruiserweight is one of the best divisions in boxing. Kimmel, prediction on Mikey versus Easter. Should be a good fight. I think Mikey wins, but I think it's a good fight. Pound for pound list, Crawford 1, Mikey 2, Loma 3, USYK 4. Everybody loves lists nowadays. Okay. I mean, I guess if I did lists, maybe I'd have USYK, in top 5, but I mean, I don't do lists. Sorry. All right, Raymond Turner, just because World Box Super Series Unified Division doesn't instantly mean the division is great. If they have the World Boxing Super Series tournament at 108, what's the difference? Yeah, all of a sudden, 108 will be the best division in boxing. Right? All right, Lopez says 175 easily the deepest in boxing. 175 is all right. Okay, AJ10, I don't do pound for pound list. There's a guy and there's everyone else. I agree. And that's the whole point. How do you guys know who's 7 and who's 8? How do you know that? Come on. Especially if they're like 5 divisions apart. There's 2 fighters, 5 divisions apart, never going to fight each other, have no common opponents. But you have 1 and 7 and 1 at 8. What are you guys doing? Right? Now, if you want to say, hey, I consider this guy a pound for pound fighter, right? Then I know what you mean, right? You're saying he's one of the best in the world. USYK is a pound for pound fighter. He's one of the best in the world, okay? But I'm not going to put a number on it, okay? I'm not like, well, I think he's 3 or he might be 5. I mean, it's a tough one. Like really, I don't do that, right? I don't do lists, guys. I'm just being honest with you. All right. I just don't. I stay away from lists. To me, there's the guy. Just like AJ10 says. There's the guy, and then there's everybody else. All right. People don't understand pound for pound. The number 1 pound for pound title is a title, right? It's subjective. It is. Of course it is. If you have USYK number 1, that's your opinion. In my opinion, it's Crawford. It's not that complicated, right? But to me, there's honestly one dude. It's just like there should be one champion. When you do 10, like the top 10, why is it top 10? Well, why not top 12? Why not top 8? What? Because it's 10, it's official, right? This is the thing. We'll be like, if you do 10 on anything, it makes it official. Like, bro, it's 10, bro. It's like top 10. It's, I don't know. It's just me. Okay. So the way I see it, there's one dude. That's it. There's one guy. One guy is the best pound for pound fighter in the world. That's how it should be. That's how it was when they started calling Sugar Ray Robinson, who was this tremendous talent of his time, right? At that time, calling anybody the best fighter in the world, okay, was kind of like what I was talking about earlier, right? It's calling anybody. That's why a lot of middleweights and light heavyweights moved up to heavyweight to prove that they're the best fighter in the world, trying to, fight the heavyweight champion. Many times, more often than not, they failed. Sometimes they succeeded, okay? But that aside, all right, look at Gene Tunney, for example, right? But my point is, if you wanted to prove that you were the best in the world, if you wanted to prove that, you have to be the heavyweight champion. Now that changed with Sugar Ray Robinson, right? Benny Leonard had a lot to do with it as well. There was some influence there, but it was Ray Robinson is the one that was known for that. So they started calling him the best pound for pound fighter in the world. And over time, Boxing Magazine started doing top 10 lists, and and it's just so people could buy the magazines and this is the ring Top 10. This is KO Magazine's top 10. I got to open this shit. This shit's official because it says top 10. That's just something that Boxing Magazine started, right? And then now in current times, boxing websites do it, and it's fun and all that. I get it, but it's just, that's not what it was meant to be. That wasn't the point of crowning a pound-for-pound champion. There's one pound-for-pound champion in my books. It's Crawford. That's it. And even if the argument is, well, once you become pound-for-pound or undisputed, you become, number one pound-for-pound. Well, Crawford hasn't lost yet, right? So people just jumping and saying this USYK. Okay, so it's kind of hypocritical in their end of things, but yeah. Look, Amanda Water says Ronda Rousey, Brock Lesnar, 3 is CM Punk. Interesting, Amanda Water. Low Place says a title that belongs to Adonis based on the level of performance versus top guys, longevity, and fear that he puts into the heart of the top fighters. He refused big money fights. Who refused big money fights? Hop says, you've missed my point to Ray Turner. Of course, a series doesn't make a division, but it does serve to show a division, and I and many others are more impressed in DStyle with a cruiserweight talent. So you're telling me right now, Hop, right? And this is just boxing conversation. That's all this is. You're telling me right now that in your heart, you believe, right, that Gassiev, with that level of talent, if he was in the welterweight division, that he would be a titleist. I want you to answer that honestly. I don't know. I don't think he would. Right? I think he'd just be another dude. All right. I'm just being honest. Now, that doesn't mean I think he's trash. He's a world-class fighter. Okay. But, I'm just being honest. Cornwall says Low Place is insane. That's DStyle's favorite word. Insane. All right. Hop says, respectfully, just don't get DStyle's reasoning against pound for pound list. Of course, they are subjective, but so is saying who is number one pound for pound. Well, I just think the point, it was subjective when they said Ray Robinson was the number one pound for pound. There was other divisions as well, right? Okay, but it was the overwhelming agreement by the press and his peers at that time, other boxers, that he was the best pound for pound fighter in the world. It was still objective, though. It's not. Look, I'm not against lists. I think the word "against" is a little strong, right? I'm not against it. I don't want to ban pound for pound lists, right? I'm not against it. If you want to do a pound for pound list, knock yourself out, right? I'm just saying I don't do lists. That's a little different than I'm against lists, right? Lopez says if Crawford is the best in the world, guys like Burns and Beltran would be knocked out, not just decisions. You have to perform, he says, in all caps, right? Man, what Ronda is clearly number one. They don't give the ring cover to just anyone. Raymond Turner, congrats to USYK for unification, but the world has known cruiserweight is the weakest division above 122. About 122. 118's had some pretty good fighters, by the way. But anyway, Hop says, to DStyle, he says, in answer to your question, no, but obviously welters and cruisers are different animals. All right. So, okay. So my point is, look, it might come off like I'm trashing cruiserweights, right? And I knew that the title was I know what I'm doing with the title of the video, okay? I just did that because of the Kurt Angle song, and it kind of sounds like they're chanting USYK, okay? And I also knew that, not you, but some people are going to put comments and just assume that this whole video was about trashing USYK, right? But so I, in respect to that, I understand what I'm doing, okay? But I'm not trying to trash cruiserweight whatsoever. It's just that I've been watching boxing for a long time, and cruiserweight has a lot of room to improve. Like it has for a long time, and it is improving, but it's this idea that every accomplishment in every weight class should be treated equally. I just don't think that's being honest. Like I just don't. I don't think that's an honest assessment. And I kind of see that you kind of agree with that, but I did say, I don't know if you were here when I said it, but I said USYK is the undisputed king of cruiserweight. He deserves credit for that. He's earned that, and he's proven that he's the best in his division by becoming the undisputed champion. He's proven it. Okay, he doesn't need anybody to, defending him like Adonis Stevenson and all this other shit. No, he just proved it, and that's it. And to be honest, I have USYK. If I did have, I don't, but if I did, I would have him higher than Adonis Stevenson. Right? Okay, so Hop says, just to be clear, I'm not mad at you at the slightest. Far from it. I appreciate you interacting with the chat like you are. Thanks. Cool. Lopez says 168 is way weaker than cruiserweight, bro. 130, 135, 140 are weaker as well. Yeah, okay. 130 right now is pretty weak. I'll say that. Okay. 135, it's going through, it'll pick up pretty soon. 140 will also pick up, right? But the pool of talent is just bigger in those divisions, right? If they have twice the amount of talent in those divisions than they do in the higher weight classes. There's more participants, is what I'm saying, right? Now, a lot of people just judge it off of what the top 10 is at the moment, But the reality is, and just give it a year or two, and these divisions are going to be strong again, right? It's in the top 10, top 20. They're going to be strong again, right? That's what history has shown us. All divisions go through like a little valley, and then they get a bump, and then a little valley. All divisions do. But have you guys ever seen like a heart rate monitor, right? So right now, these divisions that are mentioned by low plays, they're kind of in that downward, like doop, 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 doop. You know the heart rate monitor. Well, cruiserweight's been like, dee, and now it's going through a beep, and then it's going to go back to dee. So it's just different, right? Raymond Turner, since when? Since the tournament started, right? And now whoever wins the 140 World Boxing Super Series going to the same praise as USYK. I mean, let me put it this way: they're doing a Boxing Super Series, at 168. The winner might be a dude that a retired Carl Frost knocked the fuck out. Okay, twice. So you can put it however you want to put it, but I'm just saying. I think tournaments are great. I think they're fun. The winners should get credit, but we got to put everything in perspective, right? Okay, Hop. Whenever someone says the world knows, I get immediately suspicious. The world knows, everybody. The world knows, right? First of all, the world doesn't know a lot about boxing. Okay, that's number one. Right? A very small percentage of the world watches the sport. So to say the world knows when it pertains to anything regarding boxing is definitely very suspicious. Right? All right, you guys got any more questions? Shoot them. All right. Let me play this song real quick. I got to play this song. I got to play it. Listen carefully, and you will hear USYK chant it several times. Like you'll hear it. I swear to God, they could have USYK walk out to that theme music, man. I swear to God. All right? Okay? By the way, I think it would be very interesting to see a USYK versus Wilder, USYK versus Joshua, a matchup. You know, I'm not saying it has to be immediately. I'm actually perfectly fine if USYK wants to defend a cruiserweight title and have heavyweight fights in between. That's fine. If he wants to fight Value right off the bat, let's do it. I think he destroys Value. To be honest with you, I think he destroys him. I think it's a very easy fight, right? Very easy fight to make. You think USYK can beat Tony Bellew? Yes, I do. Yes, Turner. I think he'll destroy him. I think he'll destroy Bellew. Bellew made it. He's made his name beating a one-legged dude at heavyweight, man. Right? That's what he's done. All right. So at the end of the day, and if there's people that feel otherwise, then obviously it's a fight to make, right? I mean, then let's make it then. I don't want to argue about it back and forth on YouTube for a year or two. Let's just make the fight happen, and we'll see if I'm right or not. DStyle knows he's right. He knows USYK will put a pounding on him. Camelas stops Easter at 9. I think he wins the decision. USYK mollywops Billy Bob Belende. By the way, when is that Creed 2 movie coming out, by the way? Every time like somebody says Value or I say Value, like I think of the movie Creed. So when is that second Creed coming out? Anybody know? I got to see that. And it's going to be like Drago's son. I saw the previews when I went to see Infinity War. I saw the previews in the movies there. And the dude turned around like against the ropes and it said Drago on the back. Belen's corner throws in the towel, he says. Camelas. But there is, I mean, let's see here. USYK. All right. Enough of that. Guys, got any more questions? Shoot them. Trying to pull up the chat here. Taking a moment to load. There we go. Late 2019, early 2020, I believe, says Turner. All right. Camelas did MBT boxing and blood. Peace out. I'm not sure. Camelas, DStyle, do you think AMLO is another Hugo Chavez? Many of my friends in Mexico are worried. Nah, we're fine. I mean, I don't. First of all, I don't know what they're like. Mexico's in chaos right now, so the drug cartels are running everything. You know what I mean? So I'm not sure if it could get any worse. I guess things could always get worse. You should never say that, but no, I don't think it's another Hugo Chavez at all. But I always worry about anyone who's too far left or too far right. I always keep an eye on them. Got to. But I'll admit, though, I don't know that much about his politics. AJ10 says USYK should beat down whoever challenges him at Cruiser and move up in 3 to 4 fights. Well, that makes sense. Why not? He could do it. He's in the right to do it. I'll be the first one to say that. Right? One more time, guys. One more time. That was after he won the title, by the way. Right? Well, that's it, guys. I kind of say what I have to say. So congrats to USYK. Props to him. All right. And we'll see where he goes from here. I mean, we'll see. This is D-Style. Shout out to MBT Boxing, Blood Boxing, AJ10, Low Plays, Kemalaws, Gaines PP, who just came on, Hop, Manuel Water, everybody. I know I'm forgetting somebody, but Raymond Turner, Cornwall, everybody. Thanks for joining. This is D-Style. I'm out.